All right. Well, welcome back to BSL 2 versus 2. You have yourself, myself, Jiraiya, and Mad. What's up, man?
Yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to another great episode of the BSL tour. And I think we'll have a lot of great games today.
Yeah. Very excited for the matches today. So what's our first match gonna be? It's gonna be
I think it
pull it up
was
here.
Jiren Terror versus Machine and Raz.
Nice. Very exciting. So I guess do you have anything to say before we jump right into these matches about these players?
I think the chat is ready for our games, and I think we just gotta jump into it and see what we got.
All right, let's get into it here, Zero.
And at the top starting position, we have Machine playing as the white Zerg, and his ally at the top right playing as the red Prados. And at the bottom, we have Jiren playing as the brown Zerg, and we have Terror on the left side playing as the Terran.
Let's see here. So Terror and his ally is going to be Jiren, aka Babo. So is this okay? So it's left versus right, Mad.
Yeah, left versus right, and I think this gives maybe the blue team some slight advantage because Jiren is quite good with his slings. So if we see a 9-pool opening from Jiren, I think the red team can be in trouble.
Yeah. Whenever I'm playing on this map, Paranoid Android, I'm just thinking it's very much like Python. It plays very much like Python. So left versus right, we got a classic ZT versus PZ situation. To MadiNho's point, Ling maneuvering from Babo will be interesting, spawning at the bottom there. But yeah, so Machine and Raz, they're clearly newer to 2 versus 2. They're more one-on-one players, but I played some games against them, Mad, and very impressed by how knowledgeable they are of 2 versus 2. Obviously, Babo and Terror, Terror being less seasoned as Babo, but a lot more experience than Babo, aka Jiren here. I would give them the edge, probably, because Babo has that 2 versus 2 experience. But I have been impressed with what I've seen from Machine and Raz and what they've learned and have been putting into practice.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it was last cast or something that when Machine said to himself, because he was casting his own game, and he said like, "You're gonna see 1 versus 1 player struggling to do 2 versus 2 stuff."
Yeah.
As you can see, they're clearly doing well, and that's why they're here now playing this round. So they know what they're doing, and like you said, they've been playing a lot, and I've been playing a lot versus them in the BVCL, and so they are two strong players that know what they are doing.
Yeah, we're gonna get an SCV scout here from Terror into Machine's base. He's gonna recognize the number of drones here made from Machine and the layer timing and a number of lings that are coming out. Meanwhile, Terror here is making its gas. He's going bio. Raz, trying to get some information here, sees the early layer from Jiren. So a little bit of a mirror situation, a little bit. Quicker layer timing here from Machine versus Jiren, but Jiren does decide to go beta.
Yeah, I think this is a great build from the blue team, and now you see Terrace supporting him with some marines, so he doesn't actually need a sunken. He can just drone up and have the same economy as a Machine. But we did see Machine did gas pool, so he has a slight advantage in the gas, and I don't think any of them started surge speed. Link speed.
Yeah, it seems like they're both content with making some defense here, getting up to the Spire, not really looking for robust timing here for the Zerg Terran team, which you often see. Raz here making the cannons at his ally as well as for himself. Yeah, so this game is going to sort of play out into the mid game without either team taking or inflicting damage here. So I guess here in this spot, Terran often plays 2-rack into factory. Is that more common, you think, with this less aggro kind of early game start?
I think he could skip the +1 attack and go three racks earlier factory. Then you have the faster vessel, and later then you go with the +1 attack on the Marines. But it seems like he, like you said, he's 2 barracks and he sits in a factory, engineering bay. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like he will go for that +1 after the 2-rack. He is building up gas here. We'll see if he decides to make that 3rd rack or a factory here. Mute is being made here from Machine. Marines going out in the middle of the map. 3rd cannon coming down from Raz, as well as in his main. A lot of cannons coming up here from Raz.
Yeah, I think they kind of maybe over reacting a little bit because they don't have any map vision. So of course they saw the movement of the Marines and made a blind cannon, really, because they don't really know how many links Jiren made. So of course they are afraid of a bust.
Right. Love the timing here from Machine. Let's pick off the two Marines. Mutas are coming out here from Jiren though.
Yeah, those 2 Marines both just enough time for Jiren's Mutas to pop. So, but he gets a drone, and it's still less Mutas than Jiren, than Machine. But here comes the support.
Ooh, nice maneuver.
Ooh, this is good stuff for Machine. And Jiren needs to be careful so he doesn't lose his Mutas too fast.
Yeah, I would say that was actually really nice timing there for Machine to go all the way across the map. I say actually only because of the distance from where Machine is coming from to do what he did, which was pick off a drone, kill the 2 Marines, and kill one of the Muta all the way from top middle. Really nice timing there. Meanwhile, Raz going to make the Dark Templar Archives tech. Babo here, though, did make an Expo. Terror is indeed on +1 with 3 rack, with that factory coming down at that 640 mark.
I think that's why Machine were able to do as much damage as he did, because he did make that 3rd hatchery at this expansion. So that could have been 3 Mutas. So you saw his Mutas popped out late, so he was forced to make Scourge. You don't really want Scourge in this matchup, Zerg versus Zerg. You want the superior number of Mutas.
Yeah, but you got to think in this spot, as this game continues to progress, there isn't any anti-air from Protoss, so it's really going to put a lot of pressure on Machine to do a lot of... Okay, so Expo coming down here for Machine. Raz is supporting him with cannons, but Jiren's 2nd base is already up, and he's going to be mining 2nd gas shortly. We don't see a lot of anti-air. Okay, so DTs are being made here from Raz. We got to think those are going to be Dark Archons. But right now, I really like Blue's position.
Yeah, they have the early advantage because the Zergs have the matching build, and there's no pressure, so Jiren can build up his economy and didn't need to make more Zerglings than he had to. So it all comes down from the, if you can call it, the greedy opening from Jiren, which made him get to where he is right now.
Yeah, the way that this game is playing out, both teams really have not had that big engagement, that clash of, the typical biomass and mutas and vessels versus mutas and zealots and templars and all that. We haven't seen really anything yet other than that early skirmish from Machine that he launched with his first 3 muta. ZT here playing kind of defensive. Ooh, nice DT.
That's a big pickup. That's 3 drones that Jiren really needs, because the Machine he's picking up right now, his base is up and running as well. He has a lot of drones, so he will be saturated right away. And now you see the Machine is going to make some spores as well, so he can leave his base whenever he wants. He doesn't have to be careful with his mutas. So, but like you said, it seems like both teams are content with what's happening. They're both taking bases and seem happy that everyone can build up a lot of units.
Yeah.
Go into the late macro game.
Yeah, it looks like the blue team is starting to put together their forces, which we know when Zerg Terran combines their forces are just that much stronger. But DA is and High Templar, that kind of composition is the ultimate nullifier, or could be, depending on the timing here. I'm not sure there's enough magic in that DA to do a Maelstrom, but there's certainly enough for Storm. Certainly, or presumably, Raz has Storm done here.
I feel like the energy on the Dark Archons, nothing goes up slower. You always have like 95 energy, and the Mutas that's harassing your base, and you're looking at the Dark Archon, it's still 95 energy. When I'm going to get that Mael? And when you finally have 100 energy, you miss.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you wait for that 100, you feel like you're ready to go, and then done.
Yeah, you see an orange cloud in the sky. Miss.
Big counter here from Machine. Gonna get thwarted off here from Jiren's Muta, but lot of Muta here from Machine. Gonna be supported with some bio units for Babo.
Now
Decides to retreat here.
Yeah. Machine has the carapace upgrade as well. I don't think Jiren has any upgrades on his Mutas yet. So do they both have it? Yeah, Jiren's
Not quite.
This
Yep.
soon have it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beefy rad.
Oh, he got the one that was most damaged. So he didn't even have time to split before he died.
Right. Okay, so Protoss deciding to come out now. Very tricky spot here for the blue team.
Yeah, look at the map. Look how much blue there is. This is a good move from Terra moving on. Get one Templar. Ooh. Careful.
Okay. Now that was
it? I think it was a bait. Or was it all Zero's Mutas?
It wasn't all his Muta. It was just 5. It was either 4 or 5.
He baited the Maya Storm.
Yeah, but he didn't use any storms, so there are plenty of storms here. One High Templar though, not in the mix. That High Templar is so precious. Oh, nice pick off from Jiren.
That's the second one he lost without passing.
But that storm. Second one,
that's a big
not
storm.
a bad storm. Machine going in for the attack.
Yeah, he has the superior numbers of Mutas, but he needs to be careful because now they're syncing up the Marines, and he doesn't really know if the Vassal has more energy, so he needs to fight.
Oh, this is not the worst trade for Machine, but
no, he got into a good corner and away from Marine.
There's too many.
He will end up losing all of his Mutas.
That's that 94 you're talking about, man.
Every time. and that's why you see more in the meta right now that you see the Forest player they're making two or 3 or 4 even Dark Archons. So when you finally kill a Dark Archon, you say yeah, go attack, and then you see 3 more, and they're like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to us?
Wow, Terror is going for the bunk here. He understands his ally has infinite air superiority in this spot. Content with having let Protoss take a second base, but deciding to go for the bunk here. Really like this move. Meanwhile, Jiren launching a huge attack.
Yeah, has the support of the Vassals. But there's a storm. But all this force dies, and Machine doesn't have any Mutas.
Wow.
Here you maybe see. I don't think the red team played bad, but you maybe can see the picking up engagement. But the fights you didn't really have to take maybe benefits the blue team because of their experience.
Yeah, Raz trying to break out in that spot, just not enough army production to break out of that, contain that terror.
It didn't look like any room to build bunkers, but it seems like there are more space to build. Actually, so he will be putting down 4 or 5 bunkers, just sitting there waiting. Protoss can't do anything.
Machine doing what he can, sending some lings down to Babo. Babo going for the cannons here.
And Jiren, he has so many Mutas, he doesn't really care. He knows Machine don't have any Mutas, and all the Protoss support. I think he killed the High Templar there as well, so there's no support. Only 2 cannons and 2 spores. He can just A-move.
Yeah, not looking good for our red team in this spot. You got to think that first engagement really was it.
I don't think look, the blue team is not aware of this, that you can go out there in the back, I think.
Oh, okay. So Raz going for the back door.
Is he going back or are the units bugging?
Oh, looks like the units were bugging for
the AI.
Well, that Dark Archon really thick. Not having it.
Did he cast another Maya Storm? Or yeah, he did on the Marines.
No, I think the Dark Archon has over 120 at this point.
Yeah, but last time we saw it, it had 95, so it shouldn't take 4 minutes to get to 120.
Oh, yeah, maybe he did cast something with it.
And here you see Baba is pretty much doing whatever he wants. He knows there's nothing to stop his mutas. But look at this, look at this. They don't know this is coming.
Yeah, I like this from Raz. Really doing what he can. Question is it worth using the Maelstrom on these? Yeah, might as well.
That's a good storm. And
they do as much damage as he can.
A lot of... But he's getting sandwiched now. Now he's losing all his armor.
Yeah.
I think this would be the GG.
Yep. So much army here from Terror. Really on point with his macro. Raz doing what he can for a follow-up, but there's just so many bunkers here. So many mutas. So much bio. So many bunkers. Continuing to stream units here into the back door.
Terror has so much. You can see Terror, he hasn't attacked single time. He has just supported Jiren with his units.
Right.
Roaming the map. So the red team didn't really have much to do, but because the blue team have so much map control.
Defense here from Raz. Keeping those high Templars alive.
Oh, a little bit misclick from Terror, but do you get it? Oh. Look at Zenny 4 and 4. Yes, I think this shows Terror's experience, because he knows it probably with +2 or something. He only needs 4, and it takes a few shots, and he will kill the Templar.
Right.
So it seems like 4 is the magic number.
Yeah, certainly with +2.
Look, now it's moving down to place bunkers. Yeah. I realize now that 4 this didn't do the job fast enough, so he sent 5 this time, but
right. Yeah, and this is precisely how you want to play bio against Protoss. You want to trade, and then look at this follow-up coming here from Terror.
Look at that medic ball healing up.
Yeah. Very hard to deal with bio in this very narrow choke from the back door. One bunker goes down, but another one on the way with more units flooding in here from Terror. Raz doing what he can. Machine mustering up some units here. Gonna try to harass Terror. Was it split?
Terror's upgrades are too strong, and Machine's 2 plus 2 carapace just died before it was finished, when Jiren picked it up earlier.
Ah, right, yeah.
So he's behind on upgrade, so he can't really do much damage on Terror's base.
Alright, well here we go. Raz is gonna go for it. He knows he's on a time clock here. Ling supplementing this Bioforce from Jiren.
I think the red team also
nice. That's nail in the coffin. GG.
I think maybe they just stayed in the game and kind of maybe planning the second game. Just maybe they was trying to tire out Jiren and Terror.
Yeah, that was a fantasy GG timing maybe, but I did think that Raz Machine did have a good concept there, minus a few things optimization-wise from Protoss. So I do think he made a little too many cannons, but otherwise, really good execution there from Jiren and Terror, not surprisingly.
Yeah, maybe they made too many cannons, but then again, if as a Terran player, if you see there's only 2 cannons or 3 cannons, especially on Machine's natural, you'll be like, okay, we can break this, but if
you want to go for it.
Yeah, if you see 5 cannons, you're like, nope, it's not worth it. We just have to wait. We just win the battle in the long run anyway.
Right. Well, We'll see what map they decide to choose here, Machine and Raz. But yeah, Python, well, that map is Paranoid Android, but in my head I still have it as Python.
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty even. It's just a blue version of the Python. And you even... is it islands in each corner, or is it just 2 corners? Yeah,
It's just 2 corners, so that element of it, the island element of it, is not the same, but yeah, very much plays like Python. ZT did a very good job there, controlling the map, controlling the pace of the game, and really just deciding on when and where they wanted to fight. Really brilliantly done by Jiren and Terror there.
So what do you think? Well, what map are we going to see?
I don't know, a ZP map, maybe Sparkle. I don't know if Sparkle is in the mix in this round. Okay, yeah. So like a map like Sparkle, I would say, for a ZP team. Yep. All right, let's get into it. It is indeed Sparkle. Would you look at that?
And in the top we have Jiren playing as the, what is it? Teal Zerg. And his ally Terror playing as the yellow Terran. Terran. And bottom as playing at the magenta purple we have Machine. And his ally Raz. Bacardi Raz playing as the red brothers.
Bacardi Raz. Alright, well, we're going to have another classic ZT versus ZP situation. This time it's going to be top versus bottom on Sparkle Island map. Why is this a ZP map, Mad?
I was going to ask you the same thing when you suggested I was going to pick the Sparkle, but of course you have the early air advantage, but
Yep.
Both Turks get free bases and free 3 gases, so I think it's all come down to what opening do the Turks choose to use, and will we see rates from Terror like we saw, I think it was Strudel or something a few rounds ago. He optioned to go for rates so they share, but then you have the Corsairs with that destroys rates pretty much.
Right.
But we don't see an early pool. We see fast gas from Bobble. He wants to start mining gas right away.
Ooh, Rad's here going for the simulator before the gateway. That's interesting. Yeah, Bobble's going for the early gas here. So that's an overgas situation. Looks like Terror's going for 11 gas.
11 gas, and he's probably going to make just 1 Marine and then float his barrack down to Machine to see what build he's doing.
Yep.
But I hope we'll see a lot of different units in this Pride month. I want to see Mutalisk identifies as Devours. I want to see Lurkers that identifies as Hydras. So happy Pride, guys. I want to see some CD community come together.
Yeah, we'll see if the game gets goes long enough. Okay, so Terra is gonna make that Marine. Looks like he will lift it off, as you said. Layer coming down here from Jiren. It's gonna be quicker than Machine, but Machine will get that second base, that second gas that Zerg can get on this map, that the other races cannot get on this map.
Yeah, nothing favors Terran players. What can we do? We can build a wall. That's the only thing we can do. Sit behind our wall and enjoy the game.
Well, when I'm playing ZT against ZP on this map, I like to go fast drop accompanied by fast Mira and try to do something there. Double Stargate here going down from Raz.
Yeah, and Jiren, he I think he only knows about
the
first one. Yeah.
Yep.
But look, he's retreating his Overlord. Will he see it?
You know, this is gonna pay off for Raz. Ooh, looks like it's gonna be close. The Overlord kind of went up. He changed his trajectory. We'll see it though.
He sees it. But he needs a quick on it, but he's going to know that it's a second Stargate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's a huge deal seeing it or not seeing it. You know, at the end of the day, +1 was spinning and he's making Corsairs. So you got to think he's going to commit to Corsairs. Machine's going to land his Spire here a little bit late, I would say. Certainly not a fast Spire, to say the least, but Spire is going down. I would like to compare that to Jiren's. But yeah, Raz's build, because he made the gas first, he's going to have a lot more gas, but his gateway is not as fast. So his Corsair is not as fast, but he did kill the first Overlord with the Goon, so it does pay off. Raz's build is sort of meant to have a lot of Corsair. Not necessarily the quickest, but to have a lot of them. So this is going to build up here.
Yeah, like you said, his spy timing is a little bit late, and if he continues to rally off the Corsairs, he can keep it in the red for quite some time. I think he will block Jiren before he can start his first Corsairs. Scourges.
Yep. Yeah, it's a tough spot here already.
And this, you don't really want to spend your money making spores. What?
Oh, proxy offensive barrack here from Terror.
Look. Terror using his 8-rack experience, and this is costing the machine a lot of time. He's spending what was it, 8? Look at this.
Wow, this is a lot of damage.
Ooh.
Picks off the weak one.
Yeah, a bit of unsure. That's overzealous Marines trying to do the work on their own. Babo is struggling this time. Like you said, this is a PC map. Drop. There's 2 cannons, and Goliath doesn't do well versus cannons.
No, they do not.
Terra sees it, but he needs to be careful. But oh, I think Raz just lost 2 Corsairs from the 4 Scourges Jiren made.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like Raz lost some Corsairs there. Babo is just now starting to make something.
They know Terra is missing 4 Goliaths, so they're trying to poke in and do a little bit of damage, but I was going to say I was a bit surprised. I was sure we were going to see raids because Terra's second factory was started nearly at the same time as the Starport. It was a little bit late.
Right. It could have been because he was producing those Marines at the proxy barrack situation, but yeah, things are going to start to equalize here, and I think it's going to favor the ZP team because even though Raz lost Corsair, being that Jiren really does not have anything up in the air right now, he literally has nothing in the air right now. It's going to make it hard. Terror is going to try to support here, though.
Yeah,
good timing here from Terror. No range yet.
He heard you. Look at this, he's taking off the spores or attacking the Corsair so he can pick up the drones.
Yep. I love that attack. Really nice attack there. Very, 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 very well done there from ZP. Well executed.
And this is a tough spot for Jiren to be in. Like you can see you're ready to produce mutas. You have 1k in your gas bank, but you can't make anything because
Yeah, that snowball effect really playing a role here for Jiren. After losing the first few OVs and being stuck, really taking a lot of time here for him to stabilize. Does consider making Hive here. I like that from Babo. That's a season. That's a veteran move right there. Terror is gonna start beefing up some defense, making some turrets. But yeah, right now ZP just sort of full control on the map, air superiority, which really hinders the blue team's ability to do anything in terms of offense.
That's a big pickup if you can get both of them. That's huge. Oh, I didn't get it. Maybe. Careful.
Oh, goes deep for that second one. Is it worth it? Third one out there.
There's a lot of anti-air in Terra's base. It's taking a lot of damage, but oh, even more. Losing 2, but I think it was worth it. Yeah, 3 drop soups for 2. Worth it. Yeah.
Totally agree. I mean, it's a bad graphic when you see that. Oh my gosh, it's not even over. Machine onslaught continues, picking off these Goliaths. I mean, the graphic didn't look great for Corsairs, but when you think about it, the Zerg blue Jiren does not have anything in the air, so those Corsairs can be replenished, and really the loss of them is not really felt because without dropships, Terran can't be offensive, and without mutas, you know, the blue Zerg is not going to be offensive as well. So ZP right now can just sit back, take more bases, and just continue to grow and compound on their lead.
Yeah, it's like you said, the Terror had he didn't have the range, so in that fight versus the mutas, it's hard to maneuver the Goliaths because you can't like move far back as you want and fire,
Right.
and you're so close up in the mutas, you can't really run. You just have to fight and do as much as you can. What do you think we're going to see from Jiren here? Do you think he's going to try Nidus Canal, or do you see some Swarm Plague, or wow?
Yeah, I think the idea here is because there's so many Goliaths at Jiren, they need to just sort of try to play this out and get into a long game scenario, which Hive is going to be a lot more effective. Nidus could be very effective, obviously with the Filer tech, swarms, plagues, etc. Creator's Fire here from Jiren. 2 goons here, gonna drop. Kind of awkward for the blue team.
I think it's just to support the kill off the spores, but
yep.
What do you think about is the better move maybe than going drop as a product? Do you think just going straight into carriers or maybe disruption mode?
Honestly, I think TT1 is one of the best Protosses on this map, and he does a very good job of GG here from Jiren and Terror. Rad's Machine's gonna take it.
That ties up the series to 1-1, but let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Mad. I think on Sparkle, sort of the first objective is to have control on the map, and you do that in the form of making a lot of Corsairs and letting your allies' mutas really, you know, shine as a result. And then from there, obviously, if you're going to get air upgrades, carriers certainly feels like a good transition. So I do favor that kind of progression for ZP, and it makes it real tough for ZT, obviously.
Yeah, I think as soon as you have the map control, like you said, like TT1, I've played versus him a lot of time in Sparkle, and every time you think you have killed his Corsairs, he comes up with another 20. So he keeps making Corsairs because he knows you have to have the air support on this map. And later on, when you think the game is stabilized, he has 12 carriers, and like, why? What?
Right. Really good match, really nice adjustments there made from Rad's Machine. They look, they're very, very strong. I know Sparkle is that, you know, favorable for ZP, but you got to think in this game 3 in a best of 5 series, it's really anyone's game.
Yeah, let's see what we get.
All right, let's get into it.
And in the top right corner, we have Bacardi Raz playing as the red Raz color, and his ally in the bottom left playing as the green Zerg, greedy Zerg Machine. And in the top left corner, we have blue Terror. And we have his ally Babo now identifying as Jiren as the yellow Zerg, sorry.
All right, Matt. Well, we're gonna get a cross map situation now. So the teams are not sharing the same size. So this time they're gonna be across from each other. The map is Fighting Spirit, classic ZT versus ZP. Interesting to see that their spawns are in a cross position. I wonder if this game. Okay, so Jiren's gonna go for a 9 pull open here, and no wall from Terror.
Yeah, I think that's a correct build from Jiren, because he realized that it's bottom right is hard because it's so far to your ramp, so you can't really sunk out, and it's hard to support your second hatchery. So I think Jiren just want to get his links out and take early map control, maybe prevent Raz from making cannons.
Yep, precisely. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, in this spot where it's crossed map, another thing to add to also not being an easy spawn where you can take your ramp, because it's cross map, the Protoss and the Zerg, the opposing Zerg and the opposing Protoss. As a result, is going to be closer to you. Your ally is across from you, which means your ally is furthest from you, which means your enemies are closer to you. So 9-pull, having the early Ling, having the early speed, definitely agree with it. We'll see what Jiren can do with an earlier Ling and Ling speed opening here.
And of course, with Jiren making the 9-pull, it's harder for the red team to keep him. Seal block him in his ramp.
Exactly.
Because Jiren, I know he will be hiding links on the map, so you don't really know how many Zerglings he will have. So you don't really want to leave as a pros player. You don't want to really leave your base until you have three zealots versus the 9-pull, especially when your ally is not doing an overpull or a 9-pull.
Now, Machine's probe, or Raz's probe, will see the Lings coming out here. Jiren actually decides to come all the way back to his main here to pick it off. Interesting decision here made from Jiren. It kind of answers the question from a Zerg Protoss standpoint where the Lings are. Now the probe dies.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit overreaction, and as you see, Machine is sending out his salads. Raz is sending out his salads across the maps to support Machine's ramp. So I think those few seconds could have picked that salad off, because Jiren sees how many Zerglings there are, and he knows he's not left his base.
So Raz sent one Zealot all the way across the map to support his ally against this timing. They know exactly what's going on. That Overlord did see the Marine movement going south towards Machine's direction. So Cannon's going to come down here. Machine's been making Zerglings here. You got to think it's going to be pretty close. This timing is tight. Insurance looking coming down.
Machine is forced to make, I think the Sunken is okay because the blue team has so much, but they have to buy enough time now to let it finish. And I think also this is great cannon positioning from Raz. But
really nice concave here from the blue team. Those cannons are going to go down.
The red units died so much faster than I thought.
Really good execution here from the blue team.
I honestly gotta say, I thought this was going to be an easy hold. Great from the blue team.
Wow. I thought the same thing. It looked like they were gonna stuff it.
Yeah, I didn't really actually see what happened, but Machine's Zerglings all died, but Jiren still had all of his left, and the salad pretty much did nothing.
It looked like Babo's Lings had like power overwhelming. Not a single one of them dropped, and by the time they were done, those cannons were naked and the game was over. But oh my goodness, what an execution there!
That's probably why he killed off that probe, because we didn't see it, but I think he had an evolution chamber in his base, so he had +1 carapace for sure.
All right, well, not the longest, most grittiest game, but a win nonetheless. Congratulations to Babo and Terra there for taking the series there against Raz and Machine.
Yeah, and also congrats to Machine and Raz for making this far. And in those games, I feel like they show that they belong to be where they were. But
absolutely.
Of course, as further you move on, the stronger the team gets. So it will be hard. And yeah.
I'll defer to Mad. I'm good to go.
I just need, give me 1 minute to fill up my water bottle.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go for a short break. Be right back. Stay tuned.
Okay,
All
guys,
right.
we're back. Yeah, take it, Jara.
No, go ahead, please. Ned.
Okay, guys, we're back, and now we're going to see Jiren and Tara taking on Biggie and Andy. Do you want to do the intros, Jara?
Sure. We're gonna have Nixios. Spawning in our top left position here is gonna be Jiren in the blue Zerg, accompanied by his ally Terran spawning bottom left. In the bottom right position is gonna be Biggie, Protoss, and his ally Andy, top right. So this map, Mad, to me, very much like Gaia. I don't
Yeah, I
play
think
too
this
much
is
of it.
it's a remake of Gaia. I've not played it. I think there was a similar map in the previous Tours to BSL. Kind of the Curious map wasn't it or something?
Yep.
I think that's a bit similar to this map, and it's a fun map because the two bases in the bottom and the right are very close to each other, and you don't really want Zerg that close to you. And this gives Biggie the opportunity as well to do some quick river drops, or yeah, depending on what we're going to see. I think we're going to see the DT play into Dark Archons, but
Right, right.
it surely favors River Drop because of the distance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're likely gonna see Bio from Terra. You think?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you're
so.
gonna go
Just
Bio.
like the previous games.
Yeah.
I think Terror he prefers to go Marines in Tours too. You don't really see that much mech play.
Right. Right. Yeah, this is a map that I ban. I don't play it like when I'm playing Terran. I don't like playing this map for the very reason that you said. If the Zerg is spawned next to me, then his mutas are that much closer to me, which means that much more turrets that I have to make, which means that much delayed, etc., etc. You know, all those things that I just don't like. But in this situation, in the classic ZT versus ZP, the Zergs are going to be spawned next to each other. To your point, I do like to see a lot of the mutas sort of even out. Oftentimes in this situation, you see a ZVZ up top, and then if Protoss is going something like a Reaver, they're certainly close to Terran. So we'll kind of see if it kind of plays out like that, like a split map, kind of two isolated one-on-one kind of situations. But right now, the ZP team is going to posture towards Jiren, moving units towards the Zerg. Doesn't look like Marine snuck into Babo this time.
No, I was going to say, do you think that's because of the distance? Because this is a fairly big map, so I don't think Terror would have enough time to get a Marine up there. He must have.
Yeah.
Then he must have sent the first one straight out of the barracks.
Right. Yeah, it would have to be really sneaky and probably hug like the left side of the map for it to to go unscathed. But
Do you think because of the distance that you can see now that Jiren is he's doing a different build than he did on in the first game when they had he matched the build to machines, so they had fairly similar muta timing, but this time he's doing mass Zerglings. Why do you think he's doing that and not the same build?
yeah, that is interesting. I guess they're because even though it's a big map, Terran is directly below him, but I don't know. I prefer Babo in this spot to go layer and try to defend it, and be able to ZVZ muta for muta, but that's a tall ask. It's not easy to do that. So you might want to relinquish going muta, having to defend against Zealots and Zerglings early on, and then being so close to the muta to not want to take that fight, and instead go to hatch. So that could be the reason, though. I mean, this is certainly playable too. They will have map control once Jiren is on the map.
What do you think about this spore placement? I see it's not easy to put down the first spore, really. Where do you put it to defend your mineral line?
Yeah, another reason why I don't like playing this map. I do like the coverage that Jiren has, though. The first one does cover sort of the right side. The one in the middle, next to the gas, sort of covers the pool, and the other side. Pretty darn good.
Some of the drones are very vulnerable.
Yeah.
You see, they're bugging out and going out on the backside of the minerals. So as soon as Andy hit the magic number of 5, he can start one-shotting those drones.
Yeah. So Terror here is gonna try to get onto the map. Jiren continuing to okay, so he's gonna layer here. We'll see if Andy takes advantage of that sort of exposed area in Jiren's mineral line. He is continuing to sort of map out what Jiren is doing, the timing of that layer, etc., etc. He's looking to cut lings on the map, sort of keeping them honest. Terror advancing his position. Zealots catching a ling there.
Yeah, I'm liking Jiren's layer timing because he made a lot of circlings and a lot of static defense, but still you can see he has a lot of drones and his layer is almost finished, so he will eventually not catch up in Midas, but he will be on the map as well.
Yeah, and Jiren doing a good job kind of sending lings all around the areas to see where... Nice pick off there from Terror.
Losing 2, was it? And nearly 3?
Killed 1 and severely bruised the second. Did he kill 2?
I'm not sure.
Really nice catch there. And that's the thing, when Jiren is sending Zerglings on the map, it's to give his Terran ally eyes on the positioning so that he can pre-stim and catch those mutas with maximum value.
Maybe we'll see a different scenario as well now, because you know when you're defending Pradas and you're starting to make cannons on your natural, it's like, yeah, I'm going to secure my second base, and then it's always the cannon are 95% finished.
Right.
And just like we saw in the last game when they broke the ramp, they ran up, the cannons were nearly finished.
Right.
It's a matter of seconds, and that's the beauty of the Tours Institute. There's so like a few windows that it closes so fast if you don't use them.
Zealots. When did those get there?
Yeah, but did he overextend? But he has the speed, but he
cuts to the left side, picks off some of these lings. Andy maneuvering behind this medic fireball. Nice surround there from Andy. Zealots getting into the fray. Wow, great.
Yeah, and I think +1 is finished as well for the Zealots, and then they're doing a lot of damage on those ones. I think they can just run.
They're gonna go for it.
The medics pops out and supporting Terra with the wall.
Yep.
And you can see Terra's option. He's putting his barracks fairly close. I saw it on the first game as well. He had like 7 barracks or something, just all clumped into one spot.
Right. Yeah, what looks to be very non-coordinated with those Zealots kind of creeping up on Terror's main there, and then all of a sudden getting almost looked to be caught. Then all of a sudden, Andy coming in with lings out of nowhere and then picking them off. Just really brilliantly done here from the red team, seizing control and trying to take additional bases. Meanwhile, Andy really keeping Jiren inside his base.
Andy is soon to be on +1 attack as well, and he has the superior number of the... Yeah, the +1 is finished. So Jiren needs to be really careful. He can't really move out until he syncs up with Terror.
Yeah, it's almost like, what do they do now at this point? Science facility just being started right now. DA is already done and banking that energy, and you know it's going to have Maelstrom.
Yes, you see, I was going to say, I think that's the first Archon, because Biggie realized he doesn't really need it. because Andy is keeping Jiren's mutas at home, so he doesn't need to worry about getting harassed by mutas.
Yeah, real tough spot here. Without the vessel support, Jiren really can't leave his base, which is gonna really give a lot of stress for Terror, because without muta support, he's gonna have to deal with this 2-base Protoss momentarily. Andy continuing to sort of survey that side of the map. Jiren, all he can do is continue to muster up this muta force. Meanwhile, Protoss is on 2-base. He's got 2 Archon. He's got High Templars. Soon he's gonna blossom and start adding those macro gateways.
Yeah, and you see armor upgrade is on the way as well, which makes it harder for Jiren. He will be needing at least 9 mutas to one-shot those Templars, and it's going to be really hard when Biggie has so many Dark Archons on the map as well. And you see the red team, they know they don't really need to attack, they just need to grow, like you said, and soon Biggie's macro will explode.
Yeah, with Terror off of 1 base, trying to keep up. He's at 64 versus the opposing Protoss at 70. So until they engage, we don't know the true sort of winner in the current position, but you gotta think Protoss with 2 gas and those higher tech units, the more and more time spent here, you know, it's gonna bode well for ZP. So we'll see here. Andy, first vessel is out here for Terror. Andy sort of surrendering more position to sort of come back to his side. Blue team mustering forces together here, sending lings to get information, see what's sort of out there, what's going on.
Yeah, it looks like they're waiting for Terror's 1-1 timing, but as in the earlier fight when they killed, I don't know, like 12 of Terror's Marines, they kind of reset his army, so
Right.
he's taking, and he couldn't move out. You need at least 20 Marines if you want to move out versus the Zealots and the Marines. So that bought the red team, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. And that's usually, that gives you a big window to do pretty much whatever you want to do. And Biggie, he timed it very well with this expansion, and the blue team really couldn't do anything versus it.
Yeah, and Andy's very good at splitting his mutas against the Radiate. So as Terror builds more vessels, we'll see here if he can get an E-Rad off.
Oh,
See the split. Very nice split there from Andy.
And he gets the vessel.
Jiren, his mutas are out. You know, this is a lot of units here from Blue, but we got to think, how many Storms are on the map? How many Maelstrom are on the map?
There's at least 2 in Zerg's base, and yeah, he's bringing it.
Here comes the big red tomato. E-Rad.
Oh, he's locked on Muse. He needs to be careful with this Dark Archon. There's still oh, he did it on Marines.
He's got one more though. Oh, it dies. Oh, the High Templar goes down.
And the blue team, they hit right before Biggie's macro is kicking in, and the blue team has so much units.
Yeah, really good trade there from the blue team.
There are no more storms in the red basement, but the blue team doesn't know it, and they need to be a little bit careful so they don't lose everything versus the. Oh!
Ooh, picks off a missile. Oh, the E-Rad kills the weak muta. This is a formidable force here, though, from the Protoss. Plenty of storms. Maelstrom going down. Storms going down. One more going down.
Great storms. Biggie doing
Oh,
a
but
great
Jiren
job.
in! Biggie's main! Protoss's main! Oh, wow, look at this timing here from Jiren. Veteran move here from Jiren. Knows that he doesn't want to engage the Dark Archon. Backstabs into Biggie's main here. Great attack here from Jiren.
Yeah, that did a lot of damage because Biggie, he was forced to move out with his second Dark Archon, so he didn't have any support at home. Ooh.
Vessel support with these mutas. Ooh, manages to get a storm off. Here come the mutas from Jiren.
This is so annoying for Biggie.
So annoying for Biggie. Biggie's army is trying to deny Jiren.
the
Really, this E-Rad here. Andy's got to see it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. 1,000 damage.
Yeah, that was an eraser.
Now, is it
Pretty
enough? No. Jiren has more.
It has more, but yeah. There's so much going on right now.
There's so much going on. Jiren, his base is getting denied here from the bulk of Biggie's forces. Meanwhile, Andy's got bruised mutas in the south. He's got fresh ones up the top. Terror is taking a second base here, floating money, but continuing to muster up a follow-up here. Bioforces, remnant Bioforces hidden towards Andy. High Templar getting into position.
No.
Oh, picks up the High Templar.
Terror again doing with the magic number of 4, picking up the Templars left and right.
He's the 4-man. Okay, but not a huge force here. Does have his +2, so now he can really start carving up Protoss units, but that's a lot of Protoss units here. Jiren has a decent amount of muta here as well. Where are the vessels? We're going to need some EMPs against this remaining DA and higher gas units from Protoss.
But look at Andy, his double expansion. He's double expanding, and the red team is slowly stabilizing again. And Terror's natural is just ready. He just transferred SCVs. And this is the 16 minutes mark, so Terror's main is pretty much mined out.
Oh, this is a misstep from the blue team. I think this is getting caught here. Oh, great feedbacks. That's going to reset the vessels. Forced to retreat.
What a turnaround. I was thinking the blue team did a great comeback, and then boom.
Meanwhile, Jiren is harassing Biggie, but Biggie does have cannons in his main, so now that DA doesn't have any energy. Jiren could get involved here. He needs to recognize.
You never know that, but they do know he used 2 feedbacks, but he could have been backing up that forever, so it couldn't be 200. But... Oh, it's a great storm.
Oh, juicy storm breaks the bunkers.
But Biggie doesn't have that many. No, sorry, Andy doesn't have that many mutas. But his macro is going to explode now. He has a lot of drones and 4 hatcheries.
Yeah, really tight game here.
And look how strong Biggie's unit is. I'm guessing he has 2 armor. No, 2 attack. Okay. That's why it's called guessing. It's not an educated guess.
And there it is, GG here from Jiren and Terror. Wow.
It goes Biggie, JC, Tupac, and Biggie. Andrew from God, Outcast, Jada, and then me. It's a great game. Yeah, it's a great game.
Alright, looks like the next map's gonna be Fighting Spirit. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, spawning in the top right position here is going to be Andy, red, Zerg. And his ally, Biggie, green, Protoss, bottom left position. In the green, it's going to be Terran in the top left position, and his ally is going to be Jiren, purple, Zerg, bottom right position. So another classic ZT versus ZP cross map situation on Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, do you think we're going to see the same because of the cross position and see the 9 pool from Jiren? He has the same spawning as well as the previous game.
Yeah.
But Andy, he has a good spawning. When you have the top right or top left spawns of Fighting Spears as the Zerg, it's very beneficial. And again, Terror is opening, he doesn't need wall. So I think we're going to see a 9 pull from Jiren.
He's making drones here. We'll see if it's a 12 pull or a 12 hatch at this point. 12 pull it is.
Do you think whirlpool is bad? Is in the chat. You know who I'm talking about.
I think some of us know who you're talking about. Many of us don't know who you're talking about. But there is a very prominent 2v2 figure who believes that 12 pool is bad, and I tend to actually agree with him. But we'll see. Jiren is out here. He's been playing Brood War 2 vs 2 for a very long time. We'll see. We'll see if he can prove that individual wrong. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you, man. What do you think? Where do you stand on 12 pool?
After my encounters with this esteemed man, I kind of have to agree. So
Yeah.
I just go for overpool every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jiren actually going for the 12 pool, not delayed gas. So he made the gas before the second hatch. Sometimes you can go 12 pool, delayed gas, make that second hatch a little bit quicker. But in this case, Jiren went for the gas. So we'll see what he does with his gas. Looks like speed is being done. He's cutting the gas now. Lings are being on the way towards the Jiren as well as the Zealot. Lings being done for Jiren.
I think he will need a sunken. When that Zealot comes, he's going to need sunken. And look
Yep.
how awkward that hatch replacement is, because even though you have a second hatchery, it's still pretty far up, and the creep colony tends to go down before it goes up.
Right.
It's going to take some time before he can put sunkens on the cliff, so he needs to be careful.
Ooh, Andy with the two Lings drawing some of the trigger.
They caused a lot of damage on that Zealot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think Bobble kind of came out ahead on that one. It was kind of close.
Oh look, this is a fast cannon. So usually you move out with they see it. It's a good attempt from Terra, and usually you move out with 4 or 5, 6 Marines trying to catch.
Now Terra does decide to fall back here though, but he was so deep within Andy's territory. I guess he's looking to stack these 3, save the rest kind of situation. He doesn't have a wall to fall back to, so he needs to be careful. These are speedlings from Andy. SCV's being pulled.
Terra realized that he doesn't have a wall. And I was talking about Sparta, that the only thing that Terran player has is the hide bind. It is with the wall.
Right.
But I'm not sure. Maybe Terra doesn't like fighting spirit or that position, because he had the same position in the earlier game and he didn't make wall there either. So maybe he just doesn't know how to do it right at that position, or he feels comfortable just doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I think a one-on-one player's instinct is to be efficient and mineral and all that stuff. And you know, when you're making a wall, you're losing a little bit of mineral time, and that's just maybe just not how he's wired yet. But we'll get him there in 2 versus 2. In any case, this is a lot of Zealots in front of Jiren, and Andy has speedlings as well. So the question is Jiren going to be able to come out and do anything with all these lings that he made? It looks like he's going to make the Evo chamber to get the scores needed against the Muta. And Terra's gonna obviously get his medics and stim upgrades and all that stuff up. So this game is looking to sort of get into mid game with the ZP in control. So we'll see what Andy can get done with these mutas and what Terra can get done in terms of his first move out here.
Yeah, like you said, we will get Terra there eventually. He's still a young player in the 2 versus 2 scene, so in a few years, I'll give him 6-7 years, and he will be where he needs to be. But maybe at that time there's a new meta build, so it's going to be hard to keep up.
Yes.
In 7 years, 12 pool is good.
Yeah, it's like a pendulum. It'll swing back into 12 pool favor. All right, well, the mutas are out here for Andy. We'll see what he can get done. Terra actually in the middle of the map here, which is the direction that Andy's heading in, just misses him. Protecting that overlord there.
Yeah. It's not a lot you can do with two mutas, so I think he needs to be careful.
Jiren not making it easy for Terra. Terra does not have range upgrade yet. Doing the chicken dance. Oh!
It's a great pickup.
Nice pickup there from Andy.
But again, Jiren has a good, relatively good timing on Slayer, so he will have mutas in a few minutes. And we see +1 attack again from and a second overlord.
Oh, another overlord.
This is starting to look, starting looking like the Sparkle game. Jiren can't build anything. He doesn't get to participate in the game.
Yeah, rough spot here for Jiren. Having lost 2 overlords here, big deal, especially when he's trying to be droning up, trying to get into lair. He made a lot of lings here, but now he's out of supply block, so doing what he can, getting some static defense up. Protoss looks to be trying to get a second base up here. Terror's going to combine his forces here, try to designate an attack.
He lost his overlords at the worst place possible as well. He was pretty much so close to Terra's base and have support for those overlords, but Biggie Andy did a great job picking them up, and he knew where the second was because he left from Biggie's base like a minute ago.
Right. Yeah, he knew for sure. Andy really showcasing his 2 vs 2 sense in this game. We'll see here. Terror trying to sort of do what he can. At this point, he knows his ally is sort of struggling, trying to get back, trying to stabilize. Speed Zealots out here for Biggie. That's a lot of Speed Zealots. I'm not looking to trade if I'm Terror unless I have +1.
Yeah, I was going to say he needs to pull back like he's doing, because when the Zealots and the Mutas syncs up, he will be in a lot of trouble.
Now Babo is really far from him, cross map.
I think this is the correct move. Yeah, go back to ramp. Andy is doing a great job with those mutas.
Yeah, really keeping Terror, forcing him to respect the presence on the map here. Jiren also being forced to make the static defense, which is going to force him to not have the money to make the mutas. Andy harassing here.
Yeah, he has the +1, so he could try to jump on those turrets. It's only 2 hits from when we have enough mutas.
So as a result, Terror can't move out with this full army. Decides to go back a little bit here. Could get caught here. Needs to be careful. Terror needs to consolidate. Andy. Okay, Zealot's now streaming up.
I think as long as he doesn't cross the bridge, he should be okay.
Very annoying here for Terror. Nice pick off on the muta.
And Terror is doing a great job keeping up. He has a high number of units, and it's not easy clicking as a Terran player. You have to click, and do the stim and pull back. It requires a lot of attention to your units.
Absolutely.
And as Andy points out, it's a lot of Marines.
No, Andy knows very much. He saw the sort of tip of the iceberg that was outside the ramp, and then he saw what was above the ramp. Now here comes Biggie with the Zealot force. Really sneaky timing here from Biggie. It's going to force Terror to come back for sure.
He was hiding at 12 o'clock, and they didn't know he was there.
Right. At the very least, this is buying time for Protoss to get the second base. The question is it worth it?
But it's so hard for Marines to come up.
Right. Here come the mutas from Andy. Oh man, getting stunted here.
I'm not sure, maybe you should jump on the turrets in the main so Andy can go in and harass the SCVs, but they're doing a great job.
Really good attack here from the red team, buying a lot of time. Andy picking off these straggling Marines at the bottom here.
And we have a counter at the bottom and at biggest base. We have a circling and a muta attack in biggest base. Oh, look at the DTs. Saves today.
Ooh, only 2 mutas retained from that attack. Andy heading south to support his ally. Jiren understood that there wasn't much that he can do with his lings, so he waited for his mutas to do that.
But he lost a lot. He lost all his circlings because Biggie had 4 cannons there.
Right now, Protoss is a little bit vulnerable in this spot. If I'm Terror and Babo, I'm thinking, okay, we gotta join our armies somehow, and we gotta continue to put pressure on that Protoss Expo. 2 DTs are out here, but Vessel's out here as well. Terror's gotta be careful. Each Marine lives matter. Oh, picks off both DTs.
It's a hero bat, fire bat hero.
Fire bat. Here comes Jiren. Very nice timing from Jiren. He's going to force Andy to come down, giving Terror the freedom to come down with it. Very nice job here from Jiren.
And then his careful. Oh, he has already used him already. I didn't see. But I think Biggie's base is.
I think they did it.
Yeah.
Man, I think they did it. Oh, High Templar!
It's a good storm, but also a great split from Terror.
Wow. Perfectly played. Good storm, better split.
Here you see a different scenario from the previous game when Biggie took his expansion pretty much for free and he could start mining gas. And now he's kind of stuck in gas and he has so much minerals, but you can't spend it because you need gas units.
Right, right.
So, only Bonnet's salad shoots upwards, so it doesn't help making salad as well.
Yeah, and don't get me started on his probes. Jiren here got enough units here. I wonder if he can contest Andy's. Looks kind of close. Looks really close. Now they are towards Jiren's spawn. He can reinforce his army here. Andy displaying really good at micro. Here comes the vessel. E-Ride going down here. Oh. This is team play.
I think this was fair trade from both because I think Andy had less mutas, but he managed to do great damage with those
really good micro there from Andy. Now Biggie is going to try to take 3 o'clock. Andy is distance mining his second gas, so he is technically on 2 gas. Biggie.
I think maybe Terra should send out like 3 or 4 SCVs now. Just goes bunk, yeah. Because now the blue team have the map control right now, so I think don't give Biggie a base.
Well, little do they know, Protoss is trying to take 3 o'clock. But yeah, 4 gateways invested in the main. A bunker would be very good here.
He will need to throw down some cannons ASAP on 3 o'clock because Jiren is so close. If he decides to try harass, they will find it.
Right.
But so far they don't know about it. And again, we see 4 barracks from Terran and a late expansion because I think they are content with having the map control and just roaming around and seeing what the other team are doing, so they kind of feel confident that they don't really need an expansion right now.
Oh, nice pick off there.
Great.
Oh, really complimentary plays here. Oh, the probes! Probes gonna get caught!
What?
Somehow,
10
every probe survived! You could not have written that any differently. That was amazing, but they know what's there now. Terra is going to indeed go for the bunk. Somehow that happened. I'm going to have to rewatch that one. But yeah, that was a really nice combo attack. Now Andy is on 2 gas, so he could replenish his mute account, but really taking a lot of damage here from those vessels.
Yeah, and remember that probe transfer were made by professionals, so do not try this at home. You have to warn the viewers about that, so do not try it at home. These stunts are performed under a controlled environment.
Wow, Andy really doing a good job keeping Jiren's mute account very low and forcing Terra to put attention in that direction. Which is what they are looking for because now Biggie is mining off of 2 bases. He's making the proxy gateways here now at his ally. So right now, Terra deciding to stay on 1 base, I think is absolutely the right idea. But with this number of units, they need to decide on what to do with it.
Terra has such a healthy vessel count now, so it's really hard for Andy to do anything with his mutas. But you can see Andy's actually double in supply of Babu.
Yeah. Andy's doing a really good job of having Terran continue to use those vessels on him and giving the Protoss a lot of time here. Now that's a lot of gateways being built at Andy's base. It's 4 base versus 2 base. Even though there's a lot of blue on the map, very much like.
Will Biggie have the economy to support that many gates because his main is dried out? And how many mineral patches are on 3 o'clock? Like 8?
Right.
7?
Right. I think it's more so just trying to put something out there as quickly as possible. Definitely not a sustained strategy off of one base for this many gateways. Okay, so it looks like blue is going to go for...
What's the energy in the dark Archon? Is it 95? Is it 95?
Oh, man.
Oh, it was... Yeah. They realized that Biggie is pretty much... He has given up his main. He's rebuilding his main at Zerg base.
Oh, that's a very good storm. Now,
and Bob, well, he doesn't really need an expansion. He's doing what he needs to do with his mutas, and Biggie can't really attack up that ramp as well.
so these are a lot of probes, a lot of tech buildings that Biggie is going to have to remake eventually.
I think that pylon is blocking his Nexus. Is it?
I think it's okay. I think it's just underneath the Nexus. The Ling is obviously in the way there. But this is a lot of red units now flooding towards Terror. Terror's bulk of his army is in Biggie's main. There are 2 bunkers here, though.
We're losing the
Vessel
vessel.
goes down. 1 Erad. Andy's going to have to split. Preemptive split. A lot of Lings.
Get a good storm on those SCVs. Yes.
Yep. Good split there from Andy.
And this is most of Terror's SCVs. Look at this.
Right. That's a lot of SCVs. That's a lot of army lost too. Great storm now.
And Andy is still annoying with those mutas, even though he always seemed like have like 4 or 5 mutas. He managed to do some damage.
Absolutely.
And in a safe Templar as well.
Now here comes Jiren with his mutas.
Storm!
Clearly more mutas.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, here comes the reinforcements from Andy.
Yeah,
this might catch Jiren off guard. If he can offset the muta count here from Jiren. Oh, here come the vessels. Split, split, split. Fight, fight, fight. This is crazy.
It's a good split.
This is crazy. The Erad doing damage onto Jiren. Alright, we got 2 Dragoons out in the field now.
The turnaround.
Now, this is still tight. Technically, it's 3 base versus 2 base, right? It's still a very tight situation. Obviously, the food counts are in favor of the... Well, technically, it's the red team, but army-wise, blue team, I think, has the larger army. Oh, nice pick off there. Good Erad, subsequent Erad. This is tight. I like the defensive posture from the DP team. There's not much else they can do until they get that critical number. I think one more High Templar, and maybe they might be ready. Decent number of goons here. There is a Maelstrom available.
It's so hard for the blue team right here. What do you do when the other team has so much static defense? They have Storm and Dark Archons, and
right.
You can't really invest. Are you going to switch over to Siege, or do you option to go nuke?
I want to see 5 High Templars being queued up here, and then that to be the timing for Biggie to go out here. He's got he doesn't have the Templar archives. He can only make Dragoons and Zealots from here on out. Tough spot here. Oh, Andy's Mila, he's been doing so well all game. Oh no. Oh no, that's not the trade they were looking for.
Andy needs to start spending his money. Either he has to transition to some Zergling Defiler play, or because he's so gas starved now because he only has 1 gas. How do you rebuild 20 mutas on 1?
Oh, the pylon is blocking the Nexus, man.
What a great time it would be if Terror ran up on 12 o'clock now and killed the cannons when they're...
Yeah, you know he's gonna do it with 4 Marines. Alright, here comes Protoss. No High Templars still. Nexus coming down at the 12 o'clock position. Ling's being made here from Andy, but yeah, he's got 2k minerals. That's a lot of minerals. Should be going up to Hive Tech here at the very least. Terran, huge army here from Terror. Huge army. Melee upgrade here.
Yeah, plus landing on Zerglings, but I think he can just throw down at least maybe three new hatcheries. Or maybe 2, maybe he's fine with just 3 because he's only mining on 1 base.
Ooh, picks off the Dark Archon.
But there's no storm.
Only Zealots and Dragoons. Basic
Only
Protoss units.
Yeah, melee units. But it's hard for the Terran to come across the ramp.
Yep.
But this could
even
be the
still-
blue team's window. There's a lot of Marines.
Does he have plus
and
2?
no storm.
Oh, he's
Would you
got
try
plus
to-
2.
Yeah, would you try to jump here?
I think so. Once I get plus 2 and that many...
Because I think they can jump on the cannons and the sunken because all the defensive units are behind the cannons, so the Zerglings they won't sorb up any shots as well.
Yeah. They are content with just taking the air. Maybe they want to thin out the muta count from Andy. Very smart. There's no imminent threat here for High Templars, at least for now. Which, from a Terran standpoint, you're just thinking, okay, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Just give me a second here.
I think that's
Now
the
they do
first
spot
how they
12
know-
o'clock.
Yeah, that's the first time they know about it. But Terrace is taking 9 o'clock, and now Babo has an expansion as well. But there's a lot of Zerglings from Andy going down to expansion. I think, is there enough mutas to save it? Plus 1. It's gonna be close, I think.
Not quite here. But it did force time here, did force the mutas to go south.
There's a lot
Not
of
the trade you're looking
but
for.
No, he need. But look how much gas Biggie has now because he hasn't been making the High Templars for
Hold on, we
ages.
got another probe transfer. And the probe transfer.
Biggie
Counter here
realized
from Andy.
that, Biggie realized that Terror is outside of his base, so it's a good time to transfer some.
This might be the best probe transfer strategy game I've ever seen.
Terror's trying to
Meanwhile,
make a bunker, but he doesn't have the economy. Look, he has 13 SCVs.
yeah.
Yeah, he barely has any income. Look how slowly Terror Minerals.
You know, this game is still very, very close. I think 12 o'clock is the X factor for the red team, as well as the blue team. As long as that base is alive, that's going to be able to give Protoss the income that he needs to expend those gas now that he's got the tech buildings to make those units. So each time, each minute that passes, it's just going to bolster Protoss' ability to make a lot of units. Now Andy is continuing to flood units down here towards Jiren's second hatchery, or second base. Picks it off! Wow, great move there from Andy.
Do we have Hive from Andy? Do we? Still no Hive.
Not quite, but still getting a lot done with those Lings. Terror playing the slow game here. He's going for the bunk now.
What with that mineral in Jiren's base? 800 minerals. Has he only been mining with the 8 drones for his entire time?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Look at the fastest mineral. It's a bug man.
Yeah, well, Andy continuing to, you know, Andy took so many irradiates this game and it really gave his Protoss ally a lot of flexibility to come back into this game after losing his main. Great split there from Andy.
He needs to be careful now. I think he end up losing in all his mutas again.
Yep. Still trading here. Now, Jiren's gonna have more. And you gotta think that might be one of Andy's...
Yeah, look, they're giving up the bunker hole as well.
Oh,
Realizing
man.
they don't have enough to hold it.
They circumvented it and then they broke it. This might be the winning move here.
But now there's a lot of blue mutas. Babo can pick off so many High Templars if he comes home back in time.
Where are... Oh, he's harassing the drone line. Those mutas need to be killing High Templars.
Yeah, because they are so vulnerable right now because there's only like 7 or 8 Dragoons.
Absolutely. Terror identifies the situation, retreats for now. He's got to rely on his ally to kill this.
That's the juicy storm.
Oh, Jiren killing Andy's mutas. Andy buying the time.
Yeah,
Now, this is going to deny Jiren's second base.
Andy is so gas starved now, so he needs to transition to the Hive. Oh, it's a huge ship.
Oh.
He only gets 2.
2 High Templars though, full. He's got 3 more storms. So many storms still.
Babo is not supporting. He didn't kill off the Templars.
Oh,
He could have killed the Templars.
Templars. Oh man. Oh, picking off these bunkers. At 9 o'clock, he's vulnerable. Terra was not set up for a long game like this, and now Protoss, healthy economy. This is what I'm talking about. They had a window here. I don't think they needed to kill the X Factor. 12 o'clock running here is so pivotal for the red team. Andy might be starved on gas. He might have 2 depleted gas chambers right now, but you got to think Andy bought the time that his Protoss needed to do this. GG.
Wow. GG timing from Bubble. Yeah.
Crazy game.
Crazy game. A lot of back and forth, and you couldn't really tell who had the edge there because I think both teams made some great decisions, and you saw a lot of great micro from the mutas and harassment. And yeah, great game.
Yeah, crazy control, lots of splitting situations. But yeah, I think sort of mutually at the end there, we were both like, where are Jiren's mutas against those High Templars? And just got to think, if Jiren's mutas were there, would the outcome be different? Because that was sort of a big moment where Jiren could have gotten an additional base at a critical time. But yeah, really good job there from Andy and Biggie. Really good execution. Crazy.
Yeah, I think that was the only misstep at the end there, that Babo's mutas were kind of out of position and couldn't sync up with Terror, because the entire game they had been syncing up and picking up Andy's mutas, and but just a small window that, I don't know, it didn't cost them the game, but it could have been crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. So that concludes that series. Andy and Biggie, they take it down 2-0 against Babo and Terror.
Yeah, and moving on in the lower bracket, and we'll be facing Itsu and Babe in the next round.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, sounds good. So we're going to get into our final match here between TT1 and Kenzie against Bonith and Zeke. All right, let's get into it. All right, spawned here in the top left position, we're going to have in the blue Zerg Zeke, repping his StarCast clan. And his ally is going to be none other than Bonith, Protoss blue, in the top right position. Here at the bottom here, bottom right position in the green is going to be Kenzie. So he is random, and he rolled Zerg this time. And his ally, TT1, red, Protoss, bottom left.
I think, and I hope we'll... No, never mind. Do you think we'll just see 3 gates, Zergling, Dragoons here, just mass ground? Or do you think we're going to see some fast mutas?
I think because it's top versus bottom, it's going to favor more layer play, muta play versus mass play. But we'll see. I mean, this map is a big map. This is Nixios. Which plays like Gaia, but we're seeing a 12 here from Kenzie. Could be a 12 hatch from Kenzie. Looks to be a 12 hatch from Kenzie.
Yeah, he realized that it's a big map, and he's trying to get away with a little bit greedy build.
Yeah.
Also, he will be easily support his hatchery with the sunken behind there.
Yeah, it looks like a 12 pool from Zeke and a 1 gate from Bonith. So Bonith going for the early gas, TT1 going with the standard 2 gate. So interesting kind of development here on the part of the Protosses, where TT1 is going more of the conventional 2 gate route, making those zealots, and Bonith going for the 1 gate earlier gas. And then even with the Zergs, Kenzie going for the early 12 hatch ram, more economic kind of style. And Zeke kind of in between, right? Like Zeke, I think that's a 12 pool. So kind of in between,
Yeah,
not really early pool, not really an early layer either.
I saw Kenzie, he was listed as random, but do you think he picked Zerg and maybe that's why Bonnet went one gate because they didn't really know that Kenzie was Zerg?
No, I think Kenzie, very much like you, Mad, is a purist when it comes to going random. I can't imagine him actually race picking here, but I do know that Bonnet does like to play one gate against random because it can play well against pretty much all the races.
Yeah, it
so,
gives you a lot of options to like switch. But
Yeah.
it looks like it's going to be Salax and Dragoons. And here comes the famous. How many drones will he get?
Yeah, Kenzie.
One.
Oh,
Oh, he gets one.
perfectly positioned. Oh my goodness. This must be
fun
so
to
annoying.
Yeah, must be fun to live in Bonnet's world. Gets a
Oh my
second
god,
one.
another drone!
What can see?
No way he gets a third drone.
There's a sunken and it's with the 8th.
No way.
Oh.
No, Kenzie's killing his own gas!
Like, you know how stressful it can be to have a bonnet out in your face. So
Oh, trust me. Trust me, I know. I know. I've done worse. I've actually completed killing something.
It's better just. Oh, what?
Oh, TT1 getting a few drones himself. One kill there on the Zealot. Oh, second drone going down. Nice moves there from TT1. They see everything, the timing of the layer, the number of drones.
I think also here we have like the same scenery as Babo and Terror, because Babo is an experienced 2vs2 player and Bonnet is an experienced 2vs2 player, and Zeke has been playing 2vs2 with Bonnet for a long time, but you can see he doesn't really do the traditional 2vs2 builds. But as long as Zeke gets Mutas out on the map, it's GG.
Yeah. They've Zeke and Bonnet, they play together in the Brood War Clan League, as obviously you and I know, but they do play together a lot. So it's not like they're completely like not in sync with each other. They play a lot together in those clan leagues and in these types of tournaments. But yeah, I think Zeke, his strength is his control. So often when his builds are not as standard as you would say, a lot of it is made up with his ability to control well with his units. So we're going to see heavy mass here from Kenzie going for the 3 hatch. He's electing to make his 3rd hatch at his Expo. Bonnet here is making Goons and Zealots, getting the Citadel. And TT1 is going for the Corsair, which is going to be combative to Zeke's Muta. So kind of like a Corsair versus Muta with Ling versus Goon Zealot kind of situation here. I like this spot for the red team. Now Kenzie did get supply blocked early and he took damage, but it's still a 12 hatch open. So of all the opens, you can sort of get out of it and stabilize much more so with 12 hatch.
Yeah, I think Bonnet he's switching to DTs, and you can see Kenzie is floating some overlords over to TT1. But there's a small window here, because if they let Kenzie get his expansion up, of course that's favor him, but Tiki, he will have Mutas soon, but he didn't mind gas that much. He only had 1 drone on gas, so I don't think how many Mutas he has out on the map yet.
Right,
like
and
2.
Yeah, that's a good point. TT1 is also investing in Zealot leg speed. He just punched that right now, so it's not a fully committed Corsair kind of build, but it is a 1 gate and it is a +1, so it is kind of, you know, half committed or more than half committed to air, and certainly with the Zealot leg speed commitment there too.
Yeah, and you just need 5 or 6 Corsairs with +1. That equals like 7 Corsairs, I think, when you have the +1. And Zeke will have a hard time contending that with only 1 gas.
Yeah, so the blue team launching an attack here, forcing Kenzie to, instead of denying Bonnet's second base, forcing him to come back. There's a sunken here though.
He's hitting the spore.
Oh, he's hitting the spore, but there's Corsairs and there's Overlord.
That's a
Wow.
great start, and the Sunken is doing so much damage on the Dragoons.
T21 being careful with this Corsair. DTs are out though. Ooh, first DT goes down.
But I think the blue team helped really well there, even though there was a surround. Isn't this? I think also this is like a rerun from the last season's final, where I think TT1 and Kenzie actually beat Ziki and Bonnet in the first years and knocked them down in the lower bracket, but then.
Correct.
Then they had to face them off again in the finals because So I think it was like back-to-back best of 5, and it's not easy to beat Ziki and Bonnet 2 times best of 5 if you're lucky enough to do it once.
Yeah, these teams definitely have a history between each other. They played each other in the finals in the last season. But dude, did you just see that wall from Bonnet where literally he only had 2 Dark Templars to fend off against all that, and then he planted those gateways, and then oh my god, now TT1 here seizing air control, denying. Kenzie's gonna deny the second base from Ziki, but Bonnet managing to keep his Nexus and mine from that second base quicker than TT1 is certainly going to be sort of the X factor here. Now switching into goons here. Oh, this is a lot of ground units.
Oh, they're bringing.
Oh, the ramp is breached. Zealots are up. Corsair's going to trade here.
And this is also one of Kenzie's strengths. Like he as a sword player, he likes to make mass units.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when you think he's still stuck on some Sturglings, he comes out with 12 mutas, but you can see he's only making Sturglings. He doesn't mind gas at all.
Right. Right. Now, there are 2 TTs there, so those links will get cleaned up.
Yeah, and he's going to block it right now with the DT, so this attack is over. But I think they need to be careful with Bonnet. If he stabilizes too much, he's just gonna explode, because TT1, he doesn't have the gate count as Bonnet will have because of that Stargate.
Right, that's a good point. I think in this type of style, TT1's gonna really rely on Kenzie to also be a big player in this game. Now, Ziki is sort of supply blocked in the situation where he can't do anything. Good harassment there from Kenzie, picking off those drones, but these Corsairs are going to continue to kill Overlords until he gets those goons in position. Okay, Ziki cancels the Evo. Now that goons are there, he's going to go straight into making Overlords so that he can get back into this game. If you're Ziki in this spot, are you continuing to make mutas? Are you thinking about making a second base, third hatchery kind of situation? What's the play here for Ziki?
His +2 carapace is so far away, and he's so behind because of Kenzie. He has to have the additional hatchery as well, and I think this kind of show plays, if you want to call it, Ziki's weakness, because he's experienced 1v1 player, and he's used to having 2 gas, 3 bases, 4 bases, 5 bases. So
right.
Hard for him to do anything with so little income.
Yeah, Ziki is gonna plant that third hatch though, so he does recognize that he's got the time, at least for now, until they have detection for those DTs. He does have the cover against those Corsairs, so he's gonna use that time to try to get a third hatchery up. But these links from Kenzie are gonna deny this from Ziki. Very nice deny there from Kenzie.
I think it's the only right move for Ziki to try to be greedy, take that hatchery and see if he can get away with it.
Yep.
But we see double force from TT1 and a lot of gateways coming. Now
yeah, Bonnet really feeling himself. He's going to try to take 3 o'clock here as well. Bonnet clearly in the lead here in the food count with 103 versus TT1's 88. But Kenzie is slowly sort of becoming a player here. He's got 22 drones mining, and he's got that second base. So you got to think Kenzie's going to be a player here. But TT1 will go with that sort of Zealot Archon composition, accompanied by those Corsairs against any muta threat. And Kenzie here planting his Spire down with the static defense. So,
yeah. And I don't think they can't really attack into Kenzie's natural either, because the units they will clump up and come in a line because of the tight ramp.
Right. Yeah, and Bonnet knows. He knows that he's got the supply lead. He knows he's the big dog in this game right now. But the question is, how is he going to engage? Yeah, this is a big army here from Bonnet. TT1 and Kenzie are going to have to consolidate their forces together. Kenzie could probably find a counter here. Oh, the Corsairs go down.
That's a big pickup, because now what do you do now as TT1? Do you make a Dark Archon? Because Kenzie doesn't have mutas right there yet. And that's a big Bonnet ball, but hard to come in there if he has storms as well. Ah, it's Archon. But they don't know about 3 o'clock either, and that expansion goes unpunished as well. There's not a lot of vision on the map, which is crucial in 2 vs 2.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Both teams are playing very blind.
Yeah, they're kind of poking at each other. They understand where they're at right now. They know Bonnet is the big dog right now on the map. But they also think right now that they're on even bases. They don't understand. They don't realize that Bonnet is on 3 base. So they might be thinking in their head, let us take a little bit more time harvesting these 4 bases, and then we can overwhelm Bonnet. But right now, Bonnet is deciding to push into this narrow ramp. Huge supply lead here for Bonnet. Thinks better of it, decides to come back. Lots of muta now for Zeke, which is going to do very well against Lings. TT1 coming from the rear. Kenzie needs to force... okay, they're deciding to pull back. Oh man, this is a naked Spire.
I think they kind of underestimated Zeke and thought he might not make any more mutas, but all the Corsairs died. There's no air support in Protoss.
Okay, big fight going on in the middle of the map here. It looks like TT1's forces are starting to melt, but Kenzie's forces could envelope into these Dragoons. That is only Dragoons with Archons retained for TT1. Huge engagement here. They can sandwich this army. Lots of Lings here for Kenzie. TT1's army also engaging. Nothing but goons left. Speed OB is done.
Did you see he target fired the Corsair to support Zeke's mutas? So he only has one left, and it's
ooh, but that one Corsair getting...
Yeah, he realizes he's really low health. Still +1 Carapace. I'm sure he would have had +2 at this time, because he had the time to make it. +1.
Right. Now, Red Force is a little bit split up here, but deciding to pick off Zeke's. Bonnet thinking better of it, trying to go over to his ally to support him. Zeke's muta is trying to get some value down here, but starting to get caught. Red units streaming up towards Zeke's natural. Bonnet catching these OBs in the rear here.
Yeah, like we said, Zeke had to try to be a little bit greedy, take that expansion. The red team realizes it and comes in and kills it.
Now that natural is going to go down. This is a large fort from Bonnet. This is a good trade here.
Yeah, it's a red stream coming behind as well, but is it Zerglings? Is it...
Not the most coordinated attack here from the red team, kind of getting pieced off with the army being split. Now the full might of Bonnet coming down now. Red team streaming back down towards the southern part of the map. Zeke seeing the timing of the 3rd base for TT1. Kenzie continuing to make Zerglings. Hive is done for Kenzie, so Defiler Mound going down now. No longer making muta.
They still doesn't know about 9 o'clock. So like you said, we had the Reavers. They think it's 2 bases versus 2 bases. But Bonnet, he's on 50 probes.
Yeah, only Bonnet would make Reavers in this spot. Reavers do quite nicely against the Protoss composition right now. Now TT1 did supplement his army with Dragoons. That's a lot of Dragoons for TT1. Probably a lot more than Bonnet anticipated. Kenzie's gonna have to get involved here. They're gonna have to try to 2 vs 1 this thing. Muta's getting into position here too. Nice position here for Bonnet, but that's a lot of red here. A lot of goons here from TT1. All those Lings melting on the right side. Now the left side. Reaper going down here.
I think Bonnet helped that Archon in the back intentionally, because he knew the Zerglings were coming. Yeah. And the Zerglings do fairly bad versus upgraded Archons.
Yeah. Masterfully done there from Bonnet, really attacking these fronts perfectly, the right to the left, and Zeke supporting those Dragoons. Really good job here from the blue team. Really close fights.
Yeah, they're really coordinated in their fights, the blue team, and I feel like the red team is slightly off on their timing. Yeah, every time they try to sandwich Bonnet, it's like half their armies are gone before they engage. And now it's 1 base versus 2 base Protoss.
Yeah, Bonnet with his 54 probe count, 120, 130 plus food count. Zeke still continuing to harass as we approach the 18-minute mark. Picks off the first defiler.
Can you find it? He doesn't see it.
Oh!
It's a nice try to hide it under the Willow. But what do you think? I think maybe Kenzie wouldn't have done a lot more damage if he transitioned into Muras as well, because he had the naturals for such a long time.
Yeah, I think Zeke picking off the Spire at the natural really impeded his ability to kind of continue to take advantage of that second gas lead. But you know, normally, yeah, against Reavers and well positioned Zealots like that, normally that's a dead third base.
So he has 9 Mutas.
Yeah, and Zeke with 9 mutas. This is maddening when you're TT1 and you have Archons, when you know you can rip through those mutas, but it's not normal muta.
He had 6 or 7 Corsairs as well, remember that. And because he lost them, they gave them, like you asked the question, what would you do as Zeke here? Would you continue to make mutas? But because he lost his Corsairs, and Bonnet's been doing such a great job keeping Zeke in the game, allowed Zeke to continue to make mutas, and they don't have the air control anymore.
Right. What normally would have been not the best thing to do for Zeke ended up being the perfect thing to do for Zeke. So, yeah, definitely panned out to be a good decision. But I know if we go back into this game, the most critical moment for the red team, which it doesn't look like it's going in their favor right now. Yeah, GG there from Kenzie and TT1. Really close game. But Mad, that decision to send their army and splitting it to kill Zeke's natural base, I think that was the critical moment where Bonnet so expertly reacted with his army to chase the army that was going to kill Zeke's natural and trap it before TT1 can consolidate both of his armies together. I think that move is what really was like the momentum swing for Zeke and Bonnet, which didn't look like it was a good spot for them at a point there too.
And also remember that they tried to attack, I think it was Kenzie's base, and Bonnet lost all of his units, so he had 1 Dragoon and 2 cannons in his natural.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And then they optioned to attack Zeke's base, so Bonnet stabilized.
Exactly.
But I understand the decision, because they had already hurt Zeke, so they kind of wanted to finish him off so they could play 1 versus 2 versus Bonnet.
Right. Yeah, so that's high level ZP versus ZP for you.
Okay guys, I think we are ready for the second game, and this will be TT1 and Kenzie's pick, and I think it's no surprise which map is going to be Jira.
Yeah, let me guess, it's Sparkle?
I think we're going to see Sparkle.
Alright, well you called it. You called it, Mad. Yeah, so we're going to have Bonnet here spawning in the top position in blue Protoss. And his ally is going to be Zeke, Zerg, yellow in the bottom right position. So they're going to share the right side. And on the left side, Kenzie rolled the dice and he got Terran this game. So that answers the question of whether or not he picked Zerg or went random last game. And his ally, TT1 Protoss, in the top left position in red. So left versus right, TP versus ZP on Sparkle.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, this. like you mentioned earlier, TT1 is a Sparkle expert, so he knows right out from the get-go what his plan is. How will he sync up with Kenzie? Will they be trying to do like a Corsair Goliath build, like we saw Babo and Terra tried, even though they were Terra and Zerg, but it's kind of the similar unit composition.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played too much PT on this map, but I would think my mentality would be I want to play this slow and play kind of like turtle style. I think that might be most favorable for PT. But yeah, if they were to pivot from that kind of strategy and do more of like an aggressive control the pace of the game early, yeah, like a Corsair with early Goliath drop, I could see that being effective. TT1 will likely go Corsair, I think, but his gas timing here is a little bit late, so I'm not sure what this build is.
He's going to make Nexus. He's making a salad so he gets the second gas fast, but Zeke, he went 9 pool, so
right.
Not sure why he's saving up Larvas for, but maybe he doesn't know it's an island map.
Yeah, it's looking to be a double Nexus, double CC long game sort of shield style versus sword style from Bonnet and Zeke, where Zeke's going for the early layer, presumably to go Muta, and Bonnet maybe going Robo. Is that like out of the realm of a possibility? I think Zeke here with his first Overlord is going to scout that at the very least it's not Zerg. Yeah, so he's going to go with the Robo here, it looks like, which is the exact counter to what TT1 and Kenzie's going, which is more of a macro long game kind of style. Yeah. It's going to put a lot of pressure on them to be able to defend by themselves against Shuttle and Muta.
Yeah, and especially for TT1, it's going to be extremely hard if he can't catch that early Shuttle.
Right.
If he gets a Reaver in his base, he can't hold it with only cannons.
Right.
And he won't have enough ground units to support versus Reaver or Muta, so he has to go Corsairs. But will he have enough Corsairs to control air before Zeke comes there? I don't think so.
Yeah, the whole advantage of Sparkle for Protoss when it comes to trying to seize air is the fact that Protoss can very quickly make a Stargate. But in this case, with a Nexus first for TT1, that Stargate is going to be very, very slow, which means it's going to be harder and harder for him to seize control of the air. So, so yeah, I almost wonder if...
I think TT1 kind of knows. Did you see? He made 2 gateways. It wasn't a Stargate.
2 gateways. Okay, so this is going to be a goon defensive.
So he knows there will be an earlier Reaver timing. So he's going to build up the gateway count.
Interesting, interesting. So this is super kind of long game mindset where those goons are not offensive anytime soon. It's a defensive.
Yeah. And it's making range as well. Yeah, I think they're content with taking this game to the long run. They are in no hurry of finishing this game as fast as possible.
Yep. Yeah, and I love it. I think that's the right way to play on this map when you're Protoss Terran. You don't have a Zerg with you to pair with an early thing, right? So might as well elect to take 4 base and give them the bases and try to stretch this thing out. But it's gonna be tough for them to get.
Not sure about the sunken of Zeke. Maybe he made it to optimize his gas mining.
You know, I think that sunken is against the 11 gas sort of early for Goliath timing, because right now, because Bonnet is not going the Corsair, they're a little bit in the dark, but at the same time, Zeke's got the mutas out, like he's got the 9-pull layer timing too, so yeah, definitely a conservative approach, but at the same time, I can understand it for Zeke. I defend him. All right, so they're figuring out exactly what's going on here. They know exactly what's going on. The PT is taking 2 base. Oh, here's the timing here with the Reaver. Oh!
Gets the shot. I don't think TT1 has enough here.
Oh man, this timing. He's not aiming for the Reaver. He's going for the Dragoon. I mean, the Muta. Oh no. How do you defend this? This is so hard to defend.
How do you defend 1 versus 2 is the two greatest 1 versus 1 players we have in Europe?
Yeah.
Look
It
at this.
doesn't seem fair.
Even though he did the right build, he did defensive build. The Reaver has taken barely any damage and he can't do anything.
Yeah. The thinnest margins against these guys.
And see, he is just rallying Mutas over, so this Reaver is doing so much damage.
So much work. Those mutas tanked everything. If you're TT1, you're just like, what do I do? Like,
even when you do the correct play, it's the wrong play.
yeah.
Why? Look at where the drones are on the gas. 2 sunkens, okay, yeah. 3 sunkens.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean, just being extra precautious. He can focus more on his mutas with 3 sunkens at home. Not entirely sure what Kenzie's up to, but you got to think he's a brewing monster over there.
Yeah, look, you can see he's up at 42 SCVs. It's nearly more than the other 3 combined.
Yeah.
With this Reaver and this Muta. TT1 down to 3 probes.
Now TT1's been fighting the mutas this entire time. From the very first muta and shuttle timing, he's been fighting the muta. So without Corsairs on the map, and with this little amount of mutas on the map, you got to think Kenzie's gonna at the very least have a timing to do something, like a mass drop, sort of all in, kind of go for a home run kind of play. But the Silverlo is gonna spot it. Kind of a predictable spot here for Kenzie. There are 2 Scourge in position, slightly out of position.
Yeah, but he can't do anything. There are 3 sunkens.
Could go for this second gas spot though.
And they don't have the air support now, so Kenzie, he can't keep dropping because there will be Scourge and there will be Muta, so...
Alright, well he's gonna keep going for this. He's gonna try to ferry units into Zeki's base.
The Reaver comes now to support.
Now TT1's not fully out of this game. He is on 1 probe. Oh, the Muta is gonna catch the shuttle. Nope.
Where's the
Nice
Reaver?
move there from Kenzie.
Oh, he's
Nice move there. Wow. Oh,
it's
no.
a counter at 2 shuttles.
Oh no.
2 Reavers.
Perfect move there from Bonnet. Look at those rabs. Oh man. Oh. Catastrophic damage.
Stacking his Reavers to make double damage.
Hey, those sunkens don't look too bad now, do they, Matt?
Obviously, Zeke is from the future, so he knew. This is like a base trade because the other sunk is out of reach, so he can't mine, but how do you stop these Reavers?
Yeah.
Look at those slugs.
The supply depots are now. Really good counter here from Bonnet, understanding the situation.
TT1 is back in it.
Quietly coming back here is TT1. Wraith being produced here from Kenzie.
Zeke is making sure that TT1 doesn't come back in the game. And Kenzie, he had 42 SCVs, now it's half. I think these Goliaths are so bruised up that those 2 Dragoons can just pick them up. And there's even an observer in Kenzie's base, so Bonnet knows the entire time what Kenzie is doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think they know that that observer is there because he had a turret ring and he sent it in along with his shuttles.
Yeah, the blue team has full control of this game here.
But Kenzie is trying to... is this the right move?
It takes so long. He lost his Nexus. It will take so much time for TT1 to come back.
Yeah.
Ah, he lost his fire. Didn't see that. Are we going to see the classic Reaver into into carriers that Bonnet likes to do so much in his 1v1?
Yeah, it looks like he's gearing up the Stargates now. Yep. Yep. So as he gets the third base up, but if I'm ZP and I see Kenzie sending TT1 is not even making probes.
TT1,
Like TT1 is checked out here.
He's reading the news. He's tabbed out.
Yeah. This is good defense here from Kenzie. He's gonna be able to deal with this, I think.
But I think all his drop ships are there. No, he has 2. Again, there's so many Dragoons.
Yeah. Yeah, just a tough spot. Bonnet and Ziki recognizing that Kenzie's main is not fully saturated with his army because of the Goliaths that he sent to TT1. They recognized that, they went for it, they traded against it, and now Kenzie is having a tough time here defending in his main, restarting his army count, restarting his ability to deny the blue team from growing. Kenzie sending his dropships back north to pick them up, presumably empty. But
blue team they're making so much damage with so little units.
Yeah. I think Kenzie's gonna go for one more attack here with the Goliaths that are at TT1's base. He'll load those up, he'll try for an attack.
It's no cannons. He can hurt the Bonnet.
Right. Yeah, this concept that Bonnet and Ziki did is very sword style, nothing but offense. I very much like it. I mean, this is a good attack. TT1 is coming back.
But what do you do? Do you kill the Nexus to make one base? Yeah?
Yeah, I think you killed the Nexus.
There's 2 more Nexuses. The Prada's Nexus only costs 250 minerals, so you can make a lot of Nexuses. On the additional side, the command center for Terran costs 650.
Wait, what?
Doesn't it feel like that when you kill a Nexus? The Prada's
yes, I follow.
Yeah, but if you lose your command center, you have lost the game.
Yeah. Alright. So Bonnet's still in the lead food-wise.
TT1 is out of the game right now. This is a 2 versus 1 situation. I can't see, he can't really put the brakes on either. He has to be offensive, or else the blue team will take the entire map, and CK will control air so much. Look how timed their attacks are. The Mutas comes in, soaks up the shots. He didn't even unload the Reavers. And now Bond and Sieg is up 2-0 in this best of 5 series.
Wow, crazy. Well, that was a tough one for TT1 there. Not much that he can do. Went for the right defensive build, but the execution there from Bonnet and Ziki just too much and overwhelmed them. 2 versus 1. Tough spot.
Yeah, and they weren't really caught off guard either. TT1 was doing the right moves, but I think maybe had they come, say, a minute later, he would have maybe had 4 or 5 Dragoons, and he should have been okay.
Right. The timing and execution there from Bonnet and Ziki just caught him right there. I think he only had 3 Dragoons to defend that against 5 Mutas, a Reaver, and a Zealot. Yeah, that's a tough spot. He even had the insurance cannon in his mineral line, give him some cover, but it just very quickly, once that first Reaver Scarab landed, it was like mathematically, my brain was like, how is this gonna work?
And I think Sparkle were their map to lose as well, because they picked that map and they feel confident in that map. So what map will we be seeing next, now that you're down 2-0 and you have to win? What will we see? Do you think we will see some cheese play? Perhaps try to kill Speaky? Maybe he's the most vulnerable of them, because killing Bonnet is people have been trying for years. So
Yeah, I think it's a tall order either way to kill either of them, but yeah, we'll see how they kind of adjust here. I'm thinking they just want to get back to fighting spirit, see what they roll, and then just take it from there, right? They're the only PR team. They're the only PR team, and when you have a random on your team, on your squad, it adds a level of variance. So no, I don't think they're going to stray from anything. I don't think they're looking to go all in. Each of these games have been very, very close, right? Like they did the right build last game. They just didn't get it on execution. And game one, they were right there. They were ahead at one point, and then and then it kind of fell. But it just goes to show at these high level, it's a very slim margin of error. So we'll see. All right, so it looks like we're ready for game number 3. Let's get into it. All right, spawning in the top right position in the blue is going to be our Zerg player Ziki. And his ally, cross map. Map is Fighting Spirit, Protoss, yellow, Bonnet. Kenzie rolled the dice and he got Zerg. Top left position, blue. And his ally, TT1, red, Protoss, bottom right. Cross map, Fighting Spirit, ZP versus ZP, mirror situation. MadiNho, what do you think?
I think we'll see maybe a similar game as the first game when we had PC.
Yep.
Where I think maybe Ziki and Bonnet will be the aggressive team while Kenzie. And as I say that, Kenzie is doing a 9 pull. And Ziki is doing a 9 pull.
Alright, we're gonna get a double 9 pull here.
Why do I even have opinions? They just come up wrong anyway.
Well, looks like Bonnet is going to be scouting north since his ally is scouting south. So they're gonna, at the very least, know when TT1 goes north. Or the Overlord is gonna see.
Yeah. It looks like Bonnet is going to open 2 gate this time. So because of the 9 pull and yeah, I think they will put down the early aggression. Or not. I'm just gonna stop speaking.
Alright, the patented Bonnet harassment from the Bonnet probe coming down to Kenzie over here. Kenzie doing a good job throwing it off, making the lings as soon as the pool comes down. Getting up to 100 gas to punch that ling speed. Presumably both Zergs will stick with mass. Kenzie looks like he's definitely sticking with mass.
I think that's the correct play as well, because you don't really need fast mutas in this matchup. It's not the mutas that wins you the game, it's the map control, and if you're able to get out of the map and contain one of the other Zergs in his base, you're definitely in the lead. So I think
interesting.
I think TT1 and Kenzie will try to force the Ziki back.
Oh. We got a ling engagement here. Kenzie actually gets the better of it.
How are you doing, Kenzie? It's this ally. He has to forward. It's 3 versus 2, so I was like, why are you pulling back?
Right.
But they don't know it's 1 gate from Bonnet, so that's why Kenzie is making a sunken as well. He doesn't really need that sunken because he has a lot more units than them.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to point out. He does cancel it. Very nice cancel from Kenzie.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Well, he must have heard you, but definitely on the same wavelength. Not surprisingly, both of you guys, season 2 versus 2 players. But TT1 managing to squeak in a Zeolite here. Already picked off 1 probe. Second probe. Trap.
It traps the setup.
That would have been crazy if he trapped the Zeolot as well. Really good harassment here. More Zealots flooding in from TT1, recognizing that he has an opportunity here to further harass.
Kenzie he's fighting Ziki, so Ziki can't come and support him. But now somehow Bonnet has more salads from 1 gate than TT1 has from 2.
Yeah, you got to think if Bonnet stabilizes here with no further damage, this is gonna look good for them. Bonnet and Zeke, they both went tech fast, so TT1 and Kenzie. Kenzie's coming here too with Lings from the back end.
And now would be a good time to make that sunken, and then you can just finish off Bonnet. And
right.
I think this is what we were talking about before. I think they would focus and try to hurt one of the players so much and take it down. I think this was a bad decision for Bonnet going for that one gate, because they knew fairly early that they were producing Zerg.
Right. Right, well, Zeke trying to do as much damage over here too. Bonnet hanging on. Great probe micro here. Kenzie needs to focus this attack.
Yeah, this is what Bonnet does best. And Kenzie is down to 4 drones, so Zeke is really hurt. But I think like 6 drones is all you need to continue to make Zerglings from 2 hatcheries.
Yep. Yeah, if you're the red team, you're thinking full tilt everything to Bonnet right now. This is the window of opportunity. And that gateway is not powered. Zeke has Lings in Bonnet's space, but TT1 continuing to streamline units, doing a really good job of picking off probes left and right. Kenzie here also accompanying those Zealots. Shield Battery going to work here for the 2 Zealots that remain for Bonnet, while he's trying to get more production from that single gateway.
But
more units flooding in.
They're losing so much units versus so little. They have the superior number, but the blue team is doing such a great job picking off Self here and some Links here and there. So the red team needs to be cautious and not wasting so much units, but it seems like they found the perfect angle right now. They have so much. TT1 he is on 3 gates as well, and 3 gates versus 1 isn't ideal for the blue team.
Wow, great execution there from the red team. TT1 breaking off a couple of Zealots to go harass the probe line, forcing Bonnet to choose, decide which side to fight on. Now this is just too much. I think you're right. I think Bonnet's decision to go for the 1 gate quicker tech with an ally who's going layer as well, probably not the best idea against double mass.
Yeah, and Kenzie realized he just needs to make Zerglings. He doesn't need additional drones. It's just to... And I think this might be that game that Zeke and Bonnet weren't fully synced up. They didn't really seem that they knew what they were doing. They were doing 2 different things. Yep.
Yeah, you can very much tell. There was a little bit of miscommunication here, which TT1 and Kenzie seemingly have done it. GG there.
Yeah, that was a fast game, and that's exactly what TT1 and Kenzie needed to get back in this series. And now maybe Bonnet and Zeke is a little bit shaken up as well, because they're in a 2-1 lead. Of course, you need 1 more game to win, and that puts thoughts in your mind. Of course, maybe you're a little bit nervous and losing. Like, would you say that they lost in a silly way that maybe can do something to you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a psychological effect here for sure. If I'm TT1 and Kenzie after winning like that, I'm definitely feeling more confident and knowing that you can win these games straight up. There's no need for cheesing. So yeah, definitely feeling good if I'm TT1 and Kenzie here and looking to get into this game with the same level of focus. All right, looks like we're ready. Let's get into game 4 here, where Zeke and Bonnet are leading series 2-1. All right, map is Neo Luna. Spawning top left is our Protoss player Bonnet in orange, and his ally Zeke Zerg yellow spawning bottom left. All right, Kenzie. Roll the dice. You got Zerg. And his ally, TT1. Protoss. Another ZP. Left versus right on Luna. Mad.
Is this another remake of Luna? Because there's Luna 3.0 or something, and then you have the mineral patches on the bottom. And yeah, this is a new remake, so I don't think I've actually seen this type, but I do like the new remake because you have the third gas possible on the third base location. On the old Luna you didn't have it, so it's going to be more interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I like the old Luna because of that factor. Like, it's limited on the number of gas bases, and as a result, like especially ZT versus ZP, Protoss can't get 3 base or 3 gas. So in that regard, I like that. But
Here's
but when
Kenzie is trying to use that he was random. They don't know that he's Zerg, so he's trying to play greedy. But Ziki opened 9 pool, and this time we see 2 gates from Bonnet.
yeah, and Ziki's right next to him too. So distance-wise, that's
Yeah.
going to be the shortest distance.
And that hatchery is a little bit off as well. I don't think he can make a sunken to support it on the bottom. It's a little bit far away.
Yeah, that's a.
I think Kenzie is in trouble.
I'll have to agree with that. I think at the very least that pool is vulnerable to this timing. That pool is just hitting the halfway mark, and Lings are now entering or exiting the ramp.
I think this is the correct play from Ziki. He should just go 9 pool every single game as well. Especially in this matchup, he doesn't need Mutas to win. They just need to control the map and get make Bonnet big.
Yeah, yeah. Now Bonnet is going to be coming from cross map. TT1 is also coming from the north part of the map. Ziki here going to go for the hatchery, forcing Kenzie to send some drones.
That sunken is so late. And it's not. Oh, they crap it.
Oh.
If they were off sync the last game, this time you can see how synced up that attack was, because that probe was intentional.
Right.
See, the probe does so much damage, a lot more than most people believe. When you have a probe that does 5 damage every single time. That's a dead hatchery. But TT1, he's trying to do some play over with Bonnet, but Bonnet realizes he doesn't need to send all his zealots to the Zerg, but TT1 gets the punches up.
All right, well, TT1's going to have the numbers here now, at least for now. He's going to try to power down that pylon. Bonnet already proactively building a second one. Those Zealots not going to come out just yet. TT1's going to have a window here. Ziki's sending his Zerglings up.
Yeah, Ziki needs to help him, but I don't...
Ooh, he's going to pick off the bottom one.
That's a great play from TT1. And now Kenzie's free as well, so he can come up and support. And again, we see TT1 is 3 gates. So if they can sync up now and with the Zerglings and the Zealots, they have a window.
I think Kenzie's actually electing to go layer off of 1 hatch since he lost his 2nd hatch, which I don't completely hate. Oh, no, never mind. He's going to go 2 hatch. Okay.
But I don't really like the layer play yet from Ziki. I think it's too fast.
Yeah, agree with that. Yep.
But that sunken is going to... They can't break this. 2 million.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Ling speed is done for Ziki, so those Lings that are coming from Bonnet are now in position here.
Yeah, but they are kind of all in. Bonnet, he's transitioning into Dragoons, and he would just sit on his ramp, making salads.
Yeah, it's so hard to kill.
TT1 is he is all in because he stopped making probes. He's 15 probes and 3 gates.
No gas.
No gas.
Right.
So I think maybe the red team's window were when TT1 had salads in Bonnet's base, but they couldn't send more. And eventually the units got cleaned up.
Right.
And look at how many salads Bonnet had. He had like 8 salads on his ramp, so you're never breaking that.
Yeah, Ziki recognizing that Bonnet can't die here, so he's making the 2nd sunken here. Delaying his Spire here, not rushing the Spire. He knows he needs to survive.
Yeah, now Ziki also has the magic number of drones. He has 9 on the patches and 3 on the gas, so... And Kenzie is just making Zerglings. And Bonnet is having... he's making DPs.
Oh, I love the DTs.
Soon we will have mutants as well. So I think as soon as we heard the first DT slice, we will see the GG.
Yeah, 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 they're very much all in. Kenzie's not even thinking about punching a layer. He's not even thinking about adding a third hatch. I think they're very much all in, kind of baiting for them to come out, but there's no reason for them to come out. They're going DT. They're going Muta. So
yeah, they realize what good position they are in, so they don't have to take any risks. So you can see Bond even being pretty cautious and making a cannon on his route.
yeah, Kenzie really devoted to making links here.
Kenzie also has a healthy bank, so he could try to take a sneaky expansion or put on a third hatchery.
Or even a layer playing off of one base and just get that speed OV. But
six drones.
Yeah.
Up to 10 now, so. And now, oh.
Uh-oh.
Will he see it? That's 20 links.
Oh man, they melt so fast.
Ah, here comes more. Feed. Prada's feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
But that's not enough Zerglings as well to kill Bonnet's ground army.
Yeah, definitely not. Feels like TT1 and Kenzie less on the same wavelength in this game. Because Kenzie did have an opportunity to drone up there, but he kept making lings.
And you see Bonnet even making 2 additional DTs as to defend his base, and he has two more at the TT1.
Yeah, this is a very tough spot here for the red team.
Yeah, where do you go from this? Do you wait? How long do you wait for Speed Overlord?
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm going to rely on the Corsairs beating the Muta, and I'm going to have to rely on OV speed to deal with these DTs, and hopefully by then we'll have a lot of Zerglings and Zealots with leg speed to do something, but not much that they can do. I mean, layer just started, Mutas are already out, Corsairs are, you know, gathering, but
yeah, but this, I think TT1 needs to wait. This is, I don't think its +1 is finished yet either. So.
Yeah. Ziggy. Oh, picked off the one Corsair. Still not enough here. Oh man,
great micro from TT1.
Oh,
also great from Ziki. Look how damage those are.
And now
4 Corsairs versus 6 Mutas, and no Mutas died.
Yeah, like now Ziki can just go home and relax. Don't go that way, but yeah, like 6 versus 4 and you lost nothing, just bruised up Mutas. Just go home, have a beer, just relax, wait for your friends.
Yeah, wait for Kenzie to wake up.
Oh man, tough spot here, but I do think the red team will have a timing when the Corsairs can win air and when the OV speed will be done. It just won't be the best timing, but they should have a timing. Kenzie is trying to get a Spire up as well for himself.
Just look how much damage those DTs, even though they don't kill anything, you can hold the ramp, you're denying the expansion of TT1. So Bonnet, he's making another expansion behind this, and his gateways is just exploding.
Yeah.
And this is what you get if you give Bonnet your finger. He takes the whole hand.
Yep.
It's like trying to it's like trying to feed a shark. You know, it's like you don't give him tuna. He will have the whole tuna.
Exactly. I really like that one. Oh man, this is a crazy attack. No way.
I think he can just sack the Mutas. He kills now. TT1 doesn't have any units, and this is so.
Wow, and the DTs at Kenzie. Oh, masterful.
Yeah, but now he has speed overload.
Yeah.
So Kenzie breaks out, but what can you do with 40 Zerglings against this army?
Oh, he's attacking Bonnet. He's right. +1. But I think Bonnet even has enough to hold this. Surglings die so fast when you don't have Carapace and Adrenaline. But the forces the Surgling back. But I don't think DT1 is dead.
Yeah.
But maybe Kenzie and TT1 will get their revenge from the lower bracket if they manage to punch through that. I think they made an exceptional attempt, but again, the Ziki and Bonnet are really good. So
Yeah, valiant effort there from TT1 and Kenzie. They're gonna fall 3-1 to Bonnet and Ziki, at least for now, at least in the winners bracket, which I think is a repeat from season 1.
yeah, only this time it's Kenzie and TT1 coming from the lower bracket final if they can go all the way.
Oh,
I'm not
right.
sure,
Season 1, Ziki
yeah.
and Bonnet came from the losers, and then got it.
Yeah, I think I was going to say I think Banana and Linden are waiting for them in the lower bracket final. Or is it? No, it's the lower bracket semi-final. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will see the rest of those games next Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay, so the continuation of this will go on next Saturday. But yeah, crazy games today, man. Very high level.
Yeah, I have to go and rewatch. I haven't played 2 and 2 in so long, and when I do, I am not 100% myself usually. So I need to go and watch those games and maybe learn a trick or two for my potential comeback soon.
Yes. 2 vs 2 misses you, man. I heard you've been busy being a dad and all that.
Yeah, it's taking up a lot more time than you anticipate.
Well, it was very nice casting with you today, my friend. Really pleasure to cast these games. Really good games, really high level, and as always, Zero, thanks very much for the invite. I think we have some closing words.
Yeah, we definitely have to mention thank you to Brain and the Patreon, and that's an Optimonk that's supporting the BSL, and we also have a great Patreons in so.
Okay.
Will you take it from here, Jara? The baby call is.
Oh, sure.
So I'm just gonna sign out for now, and thanks for watching, and see you next week.
All right. Well, thanks, Matt. So we're gonna thank all the Patreons here. I think we usually just read this down. So the Bombastic General at the $100 a month. We got Striker, Neokin, and My Fleeting Dream. At the Bombastic Colonel level, we have Striker, Believe in Zero, Veer, and Hash Fuzzy. For Bombastic Major level, we have Tim, Kaz, Tupac, and Robert Groot. In the Bombastic Major level, we have Surikata, On My Way, Gordon Bradley, KJ, Daniel Lopez, LML, Machine, Quark, Steven Robertson, Mr. Cat, Andre, Duvaz, and MadiNho. And many more on the captain, lieutenant, and so on levels. But yeah, thanks very much to the Patreons, and for anyone who's already supported 2 vs 2 BSL for season 3. Season 2 just came together at the last minute there from support. But BSL needs your support for season 3, so definitely consider supporting if you like what you've seen with 2 vs 2 and the stuff that Zero has put together. Definitely consider supporting for future events. But yeah, thanks again for everyone tuning in here, and look forward to how BSL 2 vs 2 Season 2 continues. Yep. All right,
So,
this is me signing out. Thanks very much, Zero.
Thank you very much, guys, for doing it. I'm really appreciating what you've done. Excellent casters, the best casters for the 2 versus 2 are the ones who are playing 2 versus 2 regularly. So it is an honor to have those 2 wonderful gentlemen over here, StarCraft veterans. So thank you very much, guys, for being here. But I believe I have one more thing